Hello everyone and welcome back to Testcafe tutorial. So we'll continue with the user actions. In the last video we learned about type text and wait. So in this video we'll learn about click. Let's get started. So now again I have created here one file called user actions click.ts. Here I have imported the Testcafe module. Then I created the fixture called user actions click. This is my starting page. I created test function learn user actions click. This is test controller object await t await for automatic waiting mechanism. Now my test case is I want to pass username password and then I want to click on this login button. For example, suppose I pass here username then password, and if I click on the login button it's opening this example page. So first we need selectors for username text box, password text box and this login button. So here I have declared these variables username input, password input, login button and saved the selector value for the respective fields. As we learned in the last video, I just passed text to the username and password text box using t.typetext method. And now we want to click on the login button. So to click we have another method called t.click. So dot click and in bracket we have to pass selector which is login button. So we have saved selector in the variable called login button. Save it and now I'll run it using this run option. I want to run this test in Chrome browser. Now username password, click on login button and the test case is passed. As you can see here, learn user actions click. Now in some cases we also need to do right click as well as double click. So I have two buttons here, and if I right click here on this button then it will show this message you just right click, and if I left click it will not show anything. And again I have another button here called double click. So if I double click on this button it's saying you just double click. So there are some scenarios where you have buttons, maybe lines or word, where you have to do right click and double click. So Testcafe also provides user actions to cover these scenarios. For example, now I'll create another test function for right click. Now I have created these two test function. First one is for right click and another is one for double click. And now we need to find selectors for these two buttons, right click for message and double click. So instead we have IDs available here, which is right click button and double click btn. So now I have declared again two variables and saved selector values, right click button and double click button. I just want to click on the right click button. So dot right click and selector name. So right click button, save it. So after clicking on right click we have message displayed, you just right click. So how to check that message, we'll learn this in coming videos. Right now we'll just click and here I'll do double click. So dot double click and in brackets selector which is double click button, save it. Basically this picture loads the starting page before every test function. So even though you do here type text, username, password and then click on the login button and it will go to another page called example when you click on the login button, and when execution come to this test function so it will load again this test demo 1 web page. Now let's run these two test cases. I only want to run these two test cases, so I'll just put here test.only and here also test.only. Save it and we'll run it using this run function. I'll run this in Chrome browser. So now execution started. Now one test case is failed, which is learn user actions. Double click, and the reason is it's saying the selector does not match any element in the DOM tree. So let's check the selector. Double click, inspect here. We have 2k here, and I have just mentioned 1k for this ID. Now save it again. Here I'll just put wait action for 3 seconds, so it will pause the test for 3 seconds and we can see the message displayed. Wait 3 seconds, save it, and now we'll run it again. Now it click on the right click for message and then double click. You just double click, and now our 2 test cases are passed. So this is all about the click action. Thanks for watching. Happy testing.